Story 1. I am terrible at picking up guys, so my relationships were never good. What is the point of dating when, in the end, you feel just like a doll to them? Story 2. I do not want children, and women do not pay attention to me anyway. Story 3. I work too much. I have no social life and I need to get myself out there more. Story 4. I was traumatized by my ex so badly that I entered therapy. I am too afraid to pursue a relationship now. I do not want to risk it again. Story 5. The last relationship was very bad, so I have not put much effort into finding a new one. Story 6. I have not met anyone I am interested in who is also interested in me. Life laughing out loud. Story 7. In the past 4 years I have dated, but I have not met anyone compelling enough to want to get serious. Comes down to the fact that I do not want to settle. Like many people here, I have stopped looking, not given up, but not actively searching. Story 8. I am looking for a man to marry. I do not want to fool around. I want to settle down and do so seriously while searching. Story 9. I ended my 10-year relationship 2 years ago. I have been depressed and diagnosed with an anxiety disorder ever since. I am still trying to figure out who I am and what makes me happy. Story 10. I enjoy it much more than when I was in a toxic marriage. Story 11. I'm asexual and don't like sex. Even if I weren't, I'd still think of myself as unlovable, boring, and ugly. Story 12. I realized I was not in a position for a relationship and saved my future ex-girlfriend and me a lot of headaches. Story 13. I haven't met anyone worth changing that for since I split with my husband. It's so peaceful. The bed is all mine, and I can have as many cats, books, and houseplants as I want. Story 14. I do not date and have no idea where to meet new people in real life. Story 15. The amount of time invested in a relationship just to compete with the internet is not worth it. Story 16. Being in a relationship is exhausting, and I have no desire to go through it right now. Story 17. I am not forward. As a man, it is almost impossible to attract a woman if you lack the one thing that matters to them: confidence. Also, I am 5 feet 8 inches tall, which certainly does not help. I do not want to die alone, but I am resigned to it. The loneliness is painful. It is hard to live without hope. Story 18. I just ended a relationship a few months ago and have not dated anyone yet. Story 19. I feel that my way of connecting is not compatible with the majority of people I want to relate to. Story 20. I have autism and a lack of social skills. I have been unintentionally isolated from people my age since 9th grade. I am a college freshman right now. I lack confidence, I am too nice, and I am not athletic but I stay active. I am a car enthusiast. I have a few things to work on. Story 21. I'm over dating apps. I don't go to bars and I work a lot. I avoid approaching random women in public because I don't want to be rude or intimidating. For example, when they are alone on a hiking trail. So I keep to myself. I've accepted being perpetually single and I'm content for the most part. Story 22. My last relationship was extremely abusive, so I have not really had the desire to try. I developed avoidant attachment as a result, and anyone I begin to get close to makes me panic after a while. Story 23. Men disturb my peaceful life. Dating apps are a dumpster fire. Story 24. I don't go outside much, so it's hard to meet people. The activities I do, both outside and inside, are very male-dominated. I'm sure I could be more charming and that women can be pickier. But the reality is it's a numbers game and I'm not getting many opportunities. This doesn't include dating apps. Story 25. I am a woman with a disability and I consider myself unattractive. These are 2 red flags for the vast majority of men. Story 26. He is still calling himself straight, and I am still calling myself a man. Neither of those seems likely to change anytime soon. Story 27. I can't be bothered to look for a relationship. Life is good: friends, work, hobbies, money. I live on my own and my home is nice. Dating is miserable and I don't seem to like anyone. Story 28. I am an introverted, awkward young man with average looks. Story 29. I am gay, and no one around me is appealing. I am not one to settle, and most people do not have the level of kindness, intelligence, and mutual effort I am looking for. Story 30. It is all excuses. In reality, neither party has the courage to make the first move. They would rather stay in their comfort zone and hope things magically happen. But life does not work that way. Some people discover this in their 20s, others not until their 40s. You get what you work for. Staying in bed all day watching Netflix and hoping for the best will not get you anywhere 95% of the time. Stop wasting your precious young years and make a move. It is not the answer you want to hear, but it is the answer you need. Thank me later for the reality check. Story 31. Inflation, narcissists, and my refusal to settle for someone who thinks emotional depth is too much. Dating apps feel like job interviews with worse lighting and no benefits. Story 32. Because I own my house now, I would never risk it by allowing someone to live with me who could later claim a contribution to the equity if we broke up. Story 33. It's just not practical right now. I have a child, I have no money, and I have no time. The most I can manage is building a friendship and occasionally flirting, laughing out loud. Even so, flirting feels like a waste of time because 2 months ago I ended up in a flirtationship and it was the dumbest experience of my life. Story 34. I am a rotten egg in the dating market. No one is going to pick me. Story 35. The youngest of 5 siblings. Previous divorces are an everyday problem. The sisters began dating police officers to get revenge on exes who worked as electricians. There was a lot of sneaking around and hiding. They insisted he be a football-type stud with the expected physical attributes. The daily drama continues. 3 sisters and 1 brother are among the exes. Story 36. Because I just don't connect with people. The few I do connect with are taken or it's some other nonsense. Story 37. I'm still getting over someone who broke up with me in April. Maybe next year I'll get back out there. Story 38. I have not found anyone who makes me happier than I make myself. Story 39. A relationship would feel like work, so I might as well work for now. Women will never go away. Opportunities will. Story 40. I am incapable of forming relationships or dating in general. Everyone tells me I am a lovely person and I will find someone, but nobody wants me. Story 41. I am not putting effort into looking for someone or putting myself out there. I am working on myself first because I do not feel ready to date yet. Story 42. I have never had any interest in forming a long-term relationship beyond friendship with anyone. Story 43. Cannot get a date to save my life and I do not look the best. I also have what one of my coworkers called a farmer build. Story 44. I left a toxic relationship 5 months ago. I do not want to rush. I want to enjoy the calm of being single. Story 45. A large majority of the people I have attempted to date did not actually want a relationship. Others showed strong interest at first, but as we talked it became clear they did not know what they wanted beyond being attracted to me, and likely did not want to be alone. I do not know if my standards are too high, but I prefer dating with intent or a clear goal. It is not practical for me to prioritize dating right now, and I should not make room for it. I am somewhat bitter and am questioning what benefit a partner would bring. Given the scarce interaction and the one-sided nature of past encounters, I wonder if remaining single might be better. Story 46. I am too scared to try because of societal standards. Besides, I am happy with who I am right now. I am single, I have my friends with me, and I can provide my parents with a stable source of income. Story 47. My last relationship taught me so many things. I am not interested in love anymore. The idea of love scares me now. Story 48. I'm happily single and not looking to change that anytime soon. I value my freedom and independence and do not want to spend time trying to please someone else or cater to their ego. Story 49. Because we broke up 3 months ago, I'm going to be completely burned out for a while from all of it. Story 50. I'm not in the dating scene to meet like-minded people, whether for a relationship or for casual dates. I live in a small semi-rural town where dating is frowned upon. Story 51. In my case, a sexual fetish club was founded with my money and in my name without my permission. They have been stalking me for 10 years and will not take no for an answer. As long as this club continues to haunt me and refuses to stay out of my life, it makes no sense to try something like that. Story 52. I am not, but I should be. Relationships tend to give me stress and anxiety. Story 53. I don't want to invest in a stranger who may not even know what love is. At my age, I'm done teaching it. Story 54. I don't have the social energy for new romantic relationships. I'm perfectly happy with my friends and my progress in life. I don't want someone compromising my space, routines, or peace, and it's not like I lack anything. Yes, I'm even having sex. So why bother? Single, childless women live longer and are objectively happier. Story 55. I don't put myself out there and have little confidence in my appearance. I had a long relationship during adolescence, so I never learned where I stand in terms of my attractiveness to women. I don't know. I am focusing on college instead, but it still gets lonely. Story 56. I date to get married, and no one seems interested in that anymore. Story 57. I am a 29-year-old woman. A little more than a month ago, I ended an 8-year relationship and a 3-year situationship with my ex, and I have technically been single for 3 years. Many things are changing lately, so I am putting dating on hold because I do not want to lead anyone on. I feel my love tank is kind of empty and I need to refill it before I can love someone new, and I do not want anyone to feel unloved while I do that. Story 58. The only likes I get on dating apps are from people I am not attracted to. Story 59. Relationships are stressful and exhausting for me. I want to change my mindset, but I have not started because I am content on my own. I am also shy and do not start conversations with strangers, which prevents a woman from entering my life and encouraging me to change. Story 60. I never seem to be the one women want long-term. I am the temporary toy and comfort blanket. I am a fixer, so women recover from past trauma and then return to toxic, abusive relationships with men who seem more exciting. I have been dumped twice by women who went back to an alcoholic and to a heroin addict. Story 61. I have a chronic disease and could not really go outside for the past 5 years. Story 62. I'm not, but Reddit users are, on average, more intelligent, spend more time online, and are more introverted, which makes them more likely to overthink and to react poorly to criticism from others, including themselves. Story 63. Modern Western women want too much. A 10 out of 10 partner, a millionaire, someone 6 foot 7 inches tall, and a 20-inch penis. They are overpriced compared to others. Live for yourself first. No more relationships, only sponsorships or benefit arrangements. Relationships today are like investing money without knowing how. Story 64. It is a personal choice for the most part. I am one of the rare people who get asked out or hit on when I go out. I must carry myself a certain way or be physically attractive. I know this is about physical appearance because some women do not keep their voices down. I do not think modern Americans, regardless of gender, really understand what a long-term monogamous relationship with another person actually entails, and quite frankly, I am not sure I do either. My life is fairly good for what it is worth, and I cannot imagine a reason to enter such a relationship. I am fairly reserved and, personality-wise, boring, so I think it would not last most of the time. I write post-rock music, play video games, and I am in school for a degree that probably will not lead to a good job. I live with my family, which is a deal breaker for a lot of people, so I usually end things before they reach that point. At the same time, many of the women who have been interested in me already knew my financial situation because they met me at work, saw me get into my car, or learned it through conversation, so I do not know. I think I am not quite a full adult yet. I am bad at cooking and not much of a handyman unless I sit with YouTube for an hour and figure it out. So I do not think I am ready for a long-term relationship. Story 65. I'm 40. I don't have children, so I don't want to date women who have children. I've done it twice and it didn't work out. Besides, I haven't met anyone I'm interested in. Story 66. I do not like to be bothered and do not want men in my house. Additionally, there are not very many good-looking men my age or even 10 years younger. I am 51. I have a good life as a single woman. Story 67. I am pretty happy and do not want to mess it up by dealing with someone else. Story 68. She left after 3 incredible years. She had been unsure of her feelings for the last 2 months, waited until we renewed the lease, and then a couple of weeks later broke it off. I do not have the money, friends, or family to move out right now, and it is suffocating to be trapped with the woman I had intended to propose to. I had planned to propose in about a week and a half. It feels impossible to move on while living with her. Story 69. It is a combination of not leaving the house to meet anyone, poor social skills, being introverted and quiet, low self-esteem, and depression and anxiety. I do not think I am unattractive in terms of looks. I am just average, and that does not attract much attention in online dating or in real life. Story 70. Most of the time it is due to my disability, but that is okay since I am happier with myself. It is just societal norms and pressure that make me pursue relationships, marriage, and starting a family. I get it. It is all about having responsibilities. I cannot be an inner child forever. Story 71. I guess it's hookup culture. There's no real point in settling down with any girl because they all have the same goals, aspirations, and personalities. I like picking up new girls and never going through the, okay, I got him, I can act like a bitch phase. This made my life more enjoyable and much less stressful. Story 72. I'm always the second option. Dating apps are rough for an average guy like me. I have no idea where to meet people who share my interests. In the meantime, I focus on my physical and mental health and hope I eventually meet someone I like who likes me back. Story 73. I hate women for what they have done to me and who they are in general, so I am staying single. Story 74. The women in my area are not appealing to me. Fortunately, I am reasonably young, healthy, successful, and content with life. I will probably go to Cambodia to find a wife. The people there are the friendliest I have ever met. Story 75. I have not met a man who matches my vibe, is gay, single, and into me. It seems I find 3 out of 4, but that will not do. Story 76. Nobody I have met thus far is good enough for me. Whoever downvoted me, I am sorry. I have standards and you do not. Story 77. I have not been interested in being with men for about 6 years. I may regain that interest one day, but it is not a priority. Surviving in this shifting world is my priority. I am not interested in women either, so I have a fantastic toy collection. I get by just fine, and I am in no rush to change my situation, to be honest. Story 78. I haven't found a man who meets my requirements. Trust me, if I find one who does, I'd go out with him. Story 79. I am still single for 2 reasons. First, many of the men I know want a woman who will provide for them, whether rich or working. My father is one of them. Second, many men expect a model-like woman with no facial blemishes or allergies, or who weighs only 40 kilograms. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.